The member for McMahon.
Thanks, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Treasurer. Last year, the Treasurer was critical of Labor's tobacco excise increases, but today it's reported that the government is also considering an increase in the tobacco excise. Does the Treasurer still agree with himself?
The Treasurer has the call.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. The member opposite seems to have caught the budget speculation bug, which is going around the place, Mr Speaker. It happens every year. Every year, runs all the way up into May, every year. And he has misquoted, Mr Speaker, what the government has said about these issues. But what I have said about these issues, Mr Speaker, is those opposite are always looking for higher taxes because they cannot constrain themselves on spending, Mr Speaker.
Member for Sydney.
They're the ones who always just cannot hold themselves back between Australians' pockets, Mr Speaker, and their ambitions for higher and higher spendings, Mr Speaker. And we had the Leader of the Opposition out there, as the Minister for Industry was just reminding us, out there saying that he was going to achieve full employment. It reminded me of the member for Lilly, the 4 surpluses I announced tonight, Mr Speaker. The 4 surpluses I announced tonight, Mr Speaker. And I remember how all of those opposite, they put it all in their newsletters and they sent it out far and wide, promising those surpluses, Mr Speaker. Now, this government has been very honest with the Australian people about where the budget is, Mr Speaker. Very honest. If you go to our MyEFO document of last year, we are very candid, and we know the havoc they caused on the budget, Mr Speaker, will take many, many, many budgets of disciplined and determined action by those on this side of the House to control expenditure, Mr Speaker. And if they want to assist with that task, Mr Speaker, there are $13 billion of savings that they could pass, Mr Speaker, to ensure that the budget could be brought towards balance, Mr Speaker. There's the ABCC bill, Mr Speaker, that they could pass today, Mr Speaker, which would ensure that we could improve productivity in the building industry, Mr Speaker. We could do that. We could do that, Mr Speaker, if they wanted to support it. They could support other reforms, Mr Speaker. They could come out and back the changes we've made to innovation, Mr Speaker. They could back our proposals for multinational tax avoidance, Mr Speaker, which they voted against in this place, Mr Speaker. What we've seen from those opposite, Mr Speaker, is one big fat no to every time we want to make savings, one big fat no to every single time we put forward positive structural reforms, Mr Speaker, that will support jobs and growth.